Hello everyone, it's Feel Good Friday, and today I'm talking to the lovely Rachel Blackmore about relationships. We all have relationships, we have them all over the place with family, friends, with business people, and our partners, of course, as well. And they can be the most challenging part of our lives. It can be really, really tricky, can't it? And so today I'm going to be asking Rachel how we can avoid the common challenges that we might face and have better relationships. So it's going to be fun. We've already started having a bit of a laugh, so it's going to be a fun one. So before we get into that, in case I haven't met you yet, my name's Cindy Davis. I'm the Feel Good Coach, and I work with business owners, and I'm moving into working with life coaches to help them create a business that they really want by using sales and marketing techniques that are not slimy and they feel good, as well as a whole lot of mindset stuff too. So that's still going to be carrying on. So that's me, in case we haven't met. My aim today is to make sure that you've got practical tips that you can take away, you can implement them straight away, and you can start to improve your relationships. So if that sounds good to you, then you better keep watching. So now what we're going to do is introduce Rachel. Here she is. Hello. She's actually here with me live. We're not doing it over the internet, so it's a bit different, and we're sat very, very cozy. It's a good job we're good friends, isn't it? So Rachel is a counsellor, dating relationship coach, and we met about 2 years ago at the local business network live event, didn't we? Yeah. Rachel recognised me with Cowco, her friend, off Facebook, and came up and said, "Oh, you're Cindy, aren't you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm famous."
So she made friends with me because she likes people who make her feel famous.
I felt like a celebrity, so I loved it. So without further ado, let's hand over to Rachel and tell us a bit about what you do, Rachel.
Okay, so as a counsellor, I just see people, for general kind of issues, anything that might be difficult in their life. And as a dating and relationship coach, I help people specifically with their relationships. So it might be that you're married and you're having trouble communicating effectively with your partner, and you feel like there's some disconnect there, and you feel like maybe things are going a bit wrong. Or it might be that you're single and you're finding it hard to meet somebody, and you don't quite know why. You can't put your finger on it, but every date you go on seems to only last either the one date or a couple of weeks, and you're not sure why. So I help you to figure out what's going on inside you, what's going on that might be a barrier to you be able to, being able to create the relationship that you desire and deserve.
Brilliant. Sounds good. So today we're talking about relationships with all sorts of things, particularly business, but also friends, family, whatever. And so why do they cause us so much trouble?
Well, I think there's loads of different reasons why they cause us loads of trouble, but I think mostly it's because people expect different things from relationships. So you get into a relationship with somebody, whatever that relationship might be, and you will go into it with one view of what the relationship is going to give you or what it's all about, and they will be coming at it from a different perspective. So there's not a sort of a shared idea as such. There's my idea of our relationship and there's your idea of our relationship. And when there's a mismatch, that's when problems can occur, because you're expecting something from them or they're expecting something from you. And then if that doesn't pan out, things become a bit tricky.
Right, because we've all got our own map of the world and how we see things, haven't we? And it's just tricky. Quite often I get frustrated when I'm watching like soaps, or I don't watch many soaps, but like dramas or whatever, and I'm just thinking, just talk to each other.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But we all fall into that trap of thinking the other one knows what we're thinking.
Yeah, or that they should know what we're thinking.
Or they should know, yeah.
You should know that would upset me. You should know that I would have hurt feelings over that. And they don't, because their map of the world isn't the same as yours.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, well, that explains a lot. What kind of problems come up mostly for your clients?
I would say one of the main ones, again, is feeling misunderstood or not feeling heard. So it might be that there's an issue and you try to talk to your partner about it, or your business partner, or whoever it might be, and they are coming at it from their point of view. So maybe there's barriers, maybe they feel attacked, maybe they feel criticised. And so you're trying to communicate how you feel, and you're coming up against these barriers, and they're not receiving it in the way that you want to communicate it.
Right.
So you then feel unheard or misunderstood and frustrated, and then things just kind of spiral then, because you both get into maybe in attack mode or defense mode or whatever. And there's just, so I think a lot of people find it very difficult because they aren't meeting each other sort of adult to adult, if you like. It becomes a bit, you know, there's too much friction in the communication because one or both parties are not feeling heard and not feeling understood. A couple of other things that people find difficult, one of them, especially in romantic relationships, but also in friendships too, is when, you know, social media, when someone goes out for lunch with you or you're sitting with them watching something and you're talking to them and they're constantly on their phone.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, so people constantly checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking Snapchat, whatever it might be that they're on. That feels, you know, quite rejecting. It feels as though you're being rejected. If you're sat having lunch with somebody and they're constantly looking at their phone and not looking at you and not communicating with you, again, there's that disconnect there, isn't there? There's that kind of, you know, why are they more interested in what's going on in outside of this room? Why are they not interested in what's going on between us? So that's quite hard.
Guys, if you're watching, you know, is that something that you've experienced or have you been guilty of doing that? I think I've been guilty of doing that a few times, especially when I've got something going on with my business and I want to keep track of it on social media and it'll be the evening and really I need to, you know, I have to have a word with myself and put the phone away because it really does affect things. So, you know, tell us about your experiences because I think it's quite a common thing.
Yeah. And if you have a way that you've actually been able to get over that, tell us about that as well. You know, what things have you put into place to make your partner feel better about things so that you're not actually on your phone all the time.
Brilliant. Okay, cool, thank you. So you kind of already covered it, but is there anything else? Like, why do you think it's so problematic? Is it like a modern thing now because we've got so much going on?
I think it is because there's always something else. You know, it feels like we get bored easily nowadays. It's like, you know, we're sitting watching a film and our phone pings up and it's like we cannot resist seeing what someone has had to say to us or about their day or whatever. And it's actually, you know, it's really not that interesting.
No.
When you think about it, we can wait till the morning to find out what someone had for tea or
yeah, definitely
what their baby did.
But it's an addictive thing, isn't it? Because of the you see the notification, and I read an article about it, and you see the notification, and when you click on it, you get a small reward because you get some kind of like sometimes you get a really good nugget of information, and there's a lot of times you click on it and you don't. But it's a bit like gambling. You keep doing it for those couple of times where you do get a sort of a reward, and it kind of it activates a part of our brain that is the same as addiction with gambling and stuff like that. So it is a tricky one. Yeah,
it's that fear of missing out as well, isn't it? It's that if I don't look now, what if I don't? And also, you know, I mean, for my business, especially the date night events that I do, you know, I have people messaging me and asking me questions about it, and I might be sitting there watching a film with my husband, and I'm sort of typing away, and he's like, "Who are you messaging now?" And I think, well, there's two reasons. A, if I don't answer them now, they feel like they're being ignored, and then they might not come on, you know, to the event, and I worry about that. And also, Facebook does that thing where it says you're rubbish at answering messages because it takes you 24 hours to get back to people. And so there's that kind of feeling of needing to do it, otherwise Facebook's going to judge you harshly.
I've accepted that Facebook thinks I'm crap at replying. I reply the next day. Like if a message comes in the evening, I reply the next day. I'll see it. I'll see the notification. I'll make a note in my diary in the morning to check it and reply. Because I don't care what Facebook tells me, to be honest. If they think I'm rubbish, I don't care.
But also, you know, it comes up with that little thing to say it's been read. You know, on WhatsApp or Facebook messaging, they can see that you've seen it, and if you don't reply, you then feel rude because you think that they think that you've ignored them, and if you don't ignore them, your husband thinks that you're ignoring him. So you're always ignoring somebody.
It's a quandary.
So if you ever Facebook message me and I don't reply to you, it's because
it's her husband's fault.
It's because I'm in the moment in the room with my husband.
Lovely.
rather than answering.
Very good. And it is about setting boundaries as well and expectations with people. So if you've got a business and you've got a page and you do start out answering messages straight away, then it can be a problem. So on I don't know if you know, if you've got a business page, in the messagey bit you can set an auto response. So mine automatically goes out and says, thanks for your message, really appreciate it. You can even put the like a tag for their name in there. So it says, hi name, thanks very much for getting in touch. I work between these hours and these hours and I'll reply to you as soon as I can. That's
a good idea.
That then takes the pressure off you having to reply straight away, because you know that they've got something back from you and you've managed their expectations on when they're going to get a reply. And the same with clients. If you work with clients, is letting them know what your working hours are, and it's up to you to keep your boundaries, and it's your choice if you decide to break that boundary. And then if they you've got to keep an eye on it, because some people might then assume that you're always going to answer them at that time. So you have to, it's keeping a check on yourself. It all comes back to us. Yeah, keeping a check on our own stuff, really, and making sure that we're honouring our own boundaries.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I answered the phone to somebody at 9:30 the other night.
Do you work at 9:30 at night?
No.
Okay.
This was like, why are you answering that? I don't know.
It is that fear that you're going to miss out on something. It might be a new client or whatever. Yeah.
And if it's, you see, as a counsellor, I have clients that really are struggling with life.
Yeah.
And so I'm worried that it's going to be one of them and they're reaching out to me, and I don't want to be seen to not care, I suppose. It wasn't in the event, but
and we all have hopefully it'll be back in a second. There we are. So we're back again. It does tend to drop out. I don't know why. Anyway, so a lot of us, we've got clients, and we do worry about them. The kind of people I attract to my page and I work with, we care about our clients and we want them to be okay, but it's not our responsibility.
No.
That's their responsibility that they're okay.
That's
and
true.
if you did have, for instance, with counselling, and you've got a client who's in a dire situation, there are routes for that person that aren't you. Anyway, enough of that. I'll let you off the hook. But it comes back to boundaries, and in all relationships, really, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It does.
About what is okay for you. It's up to us to protect those boundaries.
Yeah, and I say that to my clients all the time. I talk all the time about boundaries, especially romantic relationships. You start dating somebody, be really clear what your boundaries are when you go on that date. Are you going to go home with them on the first date? Are you going to wait until the fourth date? Are you going to see how it gets? Just as long as you know and you're clear about what your boundaries are and what you're comfortable with, that's the important thing. That's the thing that you need to be clear about. So I need to be clear about my boundaries answering my phone.
We all do. We all need reminders about everything, don't we? And it's not about shutting people out either. Don't think boundaries mean shutting people out. It's just what is acceptable for you, what is right for you, what you're comfortable with. Exactly. So that's really, really important. And so again, if you're watching this and this is resonating with you, do comment below and let us know. Even if you're watching on the replay, because we can come back and comment later and reply to you and stuff. So if you've experienced this, do you have this problem where you end up answering the phone late at night and checking your messages and stuff? Let us know. Okay. All right. So what's the best way for us to deal with that, apart from getting clear about our boundaries?
Well, being clear about our boundaries. If we go back to the feeling misunderstood and misunderstood and heard. Yeah, there's some sort of active listening that you could do with your partner, whoever it is, friend, partner, business partner, whoever it might be. So one of the things you can do is to repeat back to them, not like a parrot word for word, but repeat back to them what you think you've heard. So if they say to you, I feel as though your phone excuse me. If they say to you, I feel as though your phone is more important than me, I feel like you'd rather be looking at what's happening on Facebook than me. If you then say to them, I can understand.
I do apologise. I have some tea.
Okay.
Carry on.
If you can say to them, I understand that you're feeling as though I'm not very important to you because I'm always looking at my phone. That must be really frustrating for you. If you can repeat back to them what they've said to you, it's easier for it to then sit in your mind and start to filter through. It feels like it's it starts to feel like it's your experience. So you then can understand it better and you can have more empathy with that. And then it also has the added benefit that then they feel heard and understood by you because you've repeated back to them what they've said. And the other thing to do
in a first ever Feel Good Friday, I'm going to leave the room. Rachel's going to keep talking.
All right, my darling.
I'll be back in a sec. Carry on.
Okay. And the other thing you can do is to make sure that you understand yourself. So there might be things, for example, that you feel uncomfortable with because actually the issue is yours. It's not to do with your partner, because the world is not existing itself in a vacuum. You know, we see things as we are. We don't see things as they are. There is no such thing. So I see the world from my perspective, from my point of view, from my own frame of reference, whereas other people see the world from their own frame of reference and they see it how they are, if that makes sense. So maybe I might get cross with somebody or irritated with somebody because they've done something that bothers me specifically. If I can work out, you know, actually this is my stuff, it's not something they've done, it's something within me that's the issue, then that makes it easier again, because it might be that you're a bit clearer about why these things bother you particularly, why these things are so troublesome for you. And if you can then communicate that to your partner, you can say, look, you know, in the past this has happened to me, therefore I'm particularly sensitive about this issue. I'd really like it if you could be mindful of that. I know it's my stuff. So again, when I'm working with my coaching clients particularly, we look at what's going on for them. We look at their past. We look at their ways that they communicate with people. Hello, it's nice to have you back. And we just look at really, you know, it's all about exploring yourself and understanding yourself and knowing what's going on for you, so that you know what you're putting out in the world and the way that you understand the world. And that makes it easy to communicate that to other people and to sort of keep hold of things that could escalate unnecessarily.
And as you said, it's really important to know which bits are your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And not other people's.
And not blaming other people for it.
So knowing yourself, knowing how to communicate what is bothering you effectively. And if you are the person receiving that communication, knowing how to receive it effectively and to feed back to show that you have heard and understood. And that makes things a lot easier for everybody.
Fabulous. So practical tips wise, we're talking about knowing your boundaries.
Yeah.
Which is basically about sitting down and having a think about it, really.
Yeah.
Or talk it through with someone. You know, what's okay for you and what's not.
Yeah.
And then being present when you're with that person and not being on your phone, and also expecting that of them, because that's one of your boundaries, perhaps.
Yeah.
And learning about what's your stuff and what's not.
Yeah.
So that you can take responsibility for your part in the relationship.
Yeah, and practicing active listening skills.
Practicing active listening skills, yeah.
Yeah.
All really good practical tips that you can put into practice.
And if you have any comments on any of those, if you tried them because you've heard me talk about them before, or if you know about them, or you know, whatever, if you've got any questions or comments on that, please let us know.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. This is really good. Apologies for stepping out. I'm glad you're here. It'd been a really boring video. They'd just be looking at my background. Yeah. How can people find out more about this relationship stuff?
Well, there's loads of really good books. One that I particularly like, which is good, I think, for finding out about yourself and building your self-esteem and stuff, is called You're a Badass, and it's by Jen Sincero. Right. It's how to something or other and live a most awesome life. It's really good. I'm reading it for the second time. And she's also written one, You're a Badass with Money as well.
Okay.
So it's all about manifesting money. And
fabulous.
things. She's ace.
That sounds
She's really
good. Can you, afterwards, can you put a link to that in the comments?
Yep.
Please, that would be really good.
And there's things on my website. So if you want to have a look on my website, that's rachelblackmore.com.
Do you want to write it on there and then?
Okie dokie. I've got blogs on there, and I've got other bits and pieces of information on there, so you can find out more by looking on there.
Show it.
It's all very clever.
It's a bit small. I don't know why it's come out small.
Or you can just, email me, phone me, but not at night time.
not at 9:30. She won't be answering the phone.
Not because I'm ignoring you. But yeah, so if you want to find out anything else, then look on my website. You can look on my Facebook page. I've got a Facebook page called Finding Mr. Darcy, Being Mr. Darcy, and it's all about being the best version of yourself that you can be in order to attract the person of your dreams, male or female.
So tell us a bit about the dating events you've been doing.
Yes, so as part of my dating and relationship coaching, I've started running events. They are called Date Night, and we hold them at Smoky Joe's, usually on the first Thursday of every month. So the next one is Thursday is it the 8th?
I don't know.
8th of November.
Probably.
If that's a Thursday, it's the 8th of November.
And that's in
somewhere
Cheltenham.
around that time. Yeah, Smoky Joe's in Cheltenham from 7 till 9. If you go on my website and if you go on my Facebook page, my Finding Mr. Darcy Facebook page, I could put a link to that as well in a little while.
That would be great.
I'll do that in the comments. You can have a look at that. And that's basically people from in and around Cheltenham and Gloucester all meet for a couple of hours, and it's really fun. It's no pressure. It's not speed dating. We do various activities like icebreakers and group activities, things like that. And people always have really good fun. There's always loads of laughing and joking. And, we've had, so far I've done 3 events, and I know of 3 couples now who have met one another at those events and are now dating exclusively and are very happy together. So 3 out of 3 is not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So come along.
Wouldn't it be great when you have your first wedding?
I know.
It'd be fabulous. So that's so you're married.
Yeah.
You've been married a long time and you're running dating events.
Yes.
Yeah. What's that like then?
My husband does get a little bit nervous about me being around single men, but my boundaries are very firmly in place.
Fantastic.
So and also the men aren't coming expecting to chat me up.
No.
And the women aren't coming expecting the host to be chatting the men up, because that would be really unprofessional.
Yeah.
I think it's better that I am married.
Yeah.
Because then everybody there is secure in the knowledge that I'm not doing it for my own own needs.
That would be bad, wouldn't it, did that?
Yeah.
So
it's for you, it's not for me.
So do you bring in experience from when you were dating back in the day?
Yeah.
As well as your sort of counselling and coaching experience?
Yes. I mean, most of it, I've got to say, most of it is from my counselling and coaching experience, because I've had clients that have come in and I would imagine the people watching this are all in our kind of way of thinking about the universe and the universe bringing you things. It seemed to me like I was getting a lot of people that were coming to me for counselling that had relationship issues.
Right.
And, either one of them had an affair, or someone had ended the relationship and the other one was really heartbroken, or they would find themselves single and not understood why they can't meet anybody. So I was finding that I was dealing with it quite regularly as a counsellor. And I'm really interested in it. I'm really, really interested in relationships and how people behave with one another and why people have boundary issues and, what makes people the way they are. I'm just so interested in all of that, which is what's led me to do what I'm doing now. So I would say that most of the stuff that I talk about is linked to what I've worked with as a counsellor, and then I draw on bits and pieces from when I was dating, but it's so long ago.
Eons. Brilliant. So again, guys, if you want to get involved in that, the link's going to be in the comments, and you can just go to the page and you'll get updated with all the events and things.
It would be brilliant to see new people there.
Mhm.
There are new people every time. So it's not, sometimes you'll come along and you'll see familiar faces, but there will also be lots of new faces. So it really is fun. It really is fun. You can ask anybody who's been.
Anybody at all.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to contact you?
They can either go on my website,
Mhm.
which the link is it still on the
No,
screen?
I've taken it off because it was up for quite a long time.
Okay, which is rachelblackmore.com, and my contact details are on there, so you can either email me or phone me or send me a message through my website, or you can contact me on Facebook.
Through the page, through Mr. Darcy page.
Yeah, through the Finding Mr. Darcy page.
Okay.
So there's lots of ways that you can contact me.
Okay,
I'd
brilliant.
love to hear from you.
Yeah, and we're often at Laptop Friday as well.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, regularly.
Also at Smoky Joe's in Cheltenham on a Friday, straight after this normally.
Yeah.
So that's what I normally do after this, in case you wondered. All right, so thank you so much for this, Rachel. The aim today was to give people practical tips so they can prevent some of these common problems from even happening, and just have better relationships. So make sure you check out Rachel's links. She's going to pop everything in the comments for you, and I'll also copy all that up into the description, so it's really easy. And this also goes out on my YouTube channel, so you can grab a link from there and share it everywhere as well.
Yeah.
So we can both get the word out. If watching this has been a good use of your time and you've enjoyed it, then do please tag someone in the comments that you think would find it useful, or share it with your friends, because we want to share the love.
Yes.
And join me next week for the next Feel Good Friday. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about yet, because I'm putting a poll out, hopefully today, maybe over the weekend, and it's all going to be about more businessy things than the last one. So the last poll was about what are the challenges that business mums face in the school holidays. And that was brilliant, and we got some great content out of that, and I really enjoyed making the videos. So the next one's going to be things like, how to decide what niche to do in your business or something like that. So I'm going to put a poll out, and you can vote for what you want me to talk about next, and I will work my way through the most popular ones that get voted for there. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. So yeah, remember to like my page so that you can see the poll, and also you'll get all the notifications you need when I'm going live, and you can also find the replay here whenever you need it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, Rachel.
Thank you. Bye.